Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. Now, a few things I found out about Zolera. Well, by the way, we're going to... yeah, here's our gambit set up. Mainly just the Cura gambits and Phoenix Down gambits. A few things I found out about Zolera. So, he, she, it, they... I'm going to stop doing that too. Zolera will summon zombies when he's at full health. And he also has like a super high defense boost, so you either have to, you gotta hit him with something like a gun or something really strong. Hit him really hard to break his 100% health, like, bonus buff. I kind of wish I could have known that without internet research, but yeah, whatever. Alright, so strategy. What we're going to do is, basically what we want to do is we want to reflect Curas. Now, obviously this will be fine as long as Zolera just wants to do his basic death attacks and whatnot. I don't really need to be gaining health myself. But his skeletons are going to be somewhat challenging. So I'm going to summon Exodus here. And, oh, well, I guess Exodus is just going to break his damage thing. Now, what I was going to do is use this meteor here. And just, I was going to wait for zombies to appear and then just meteor them away. And that would break his defense as well. And once his first hit is in, then we can start our reflecting Cura and Curaga strategy. That is what Bosch, Fran, and Ash are going to be doing. Now you get to see Meteor be a part of the strategy here. And what Meteor does is it will damage all enemies. That's why I chose this, and because, well, we haven't used Exodus yet. But when Exodus is... I believe it's... the damage Meteor does is based on Exodus's health. Look at that! 30,000 damage. I believe that's the maximum Exodus can do with Meteor. And I think it's based on Exodus's health. Okay, so he's using Kill. So, I have Phoenix Down Gambit set up because, well, we have plenty of Phoenix Downs, but I don't want... I want the Phoenix Downs to happen instantly, because he's going to go for just keep going for his instant kill move. I battled him a couple times off camera, and that's what he did a lot of. He didn't do the whole level 2 break or level 3 disable. He didn't go through that cycle too much. He did. He spent like 80% of the battle just doing the kill thing. So, ally, if the ally is KO'd, we're going to Phoenix Down. I'm just going to turn off all these other gambits because I think they're interfering. Yeah, I don't want to be targeting him. The reason, yeah, they won't be... Fran and Ash aren't targeting us, or themselves, because they're not hurt. And that's why that gambit isn't kicking in, which I didn't really realize that at first. So we're just going to... yeah, do that. Now the Curas will start flying. Yeah, he uses death. That's okay. As long as he's not summoning skeletons, it's okay if he keeps doing his instant death things. His physical attacks, if they kill me, they kill me. If they don't, okay. Did I dispel him? I don't think I did. But we're still doing... plenty damage, and we're just gonna let this battle kind of play out itself. Yeah, Phoenix Downs, you want to use Phoenix Downs instead of the Raise spell because items are instant use. And oh, here we go, Prime Level Death. He's almost dead anyways, and Prime Level Death is not going to kill any of our guys. So that's kind of nice for us. Oh, he's casting Stop. And I don't care. Yeah, the Reflect Cura strategy, pretty effective against him. Don't really care if my people are on low health, because as I said, you just need to Phoenix down them. He doesn't do a whole lot other than his death spells, as long as he doesn't have zombies, and that's what Exodus was for. Let's see, what other notes do I have for this? Yeah, you don't. Also, another thing is you don't want to have Exodus stick around in the battle for too long. Strategies I was seeing was recommending not using Espers, but if you just summon them and use their... like I did, I used Exodus at the beginning of battle there just to make sure that any skeleton warriors he summons were going to be dead with that meteor. But you don't want to just have Exodus stick around too long, because Exodus or Zolera will just use its kill attack and wipe it out, and that's not productive. So yeah, just summon it, do the meteor. You can do a normal, let Exodus do his normal command attack or whatever if he manages to get that off before skeletons happen. And yeah, other than that, pretty simple strategy for dealing with that guy, I think. Once you have it down. Alright, so just to show you kind of what happens when you get a thing. Yeah, I did go through all of the boards just to make sure. But that's kind of what it looks like. It'll... bouncing curas. This is not... It's not effective, guys. We gotta take the mirror mail off of Bosch here. There we go. Get fully de-equipped from that battle. Well, that's two bosses we weren't supposed to beat. Are we gonna fix stop? We're not gonna fix stop. Well, the threat is gone. Yeah, so I gave the Esper to Vaughn. I did check out all of the other all the other characters' license boards off screen, and the best thing that I could find was the HP boost for Vaughn. You know, some of the other boosts that I might be, or things that I might be skipping up an Esper for, are something like where I've unlocked the thing by having the dual license boards. You've kind of seen some of that on screen when I go into there, especially when it comes to like the swiftness licenses or whatnot. So yeah, no need to use an Esper slot opening up a path that's already opened for me. So yeah, best thing I could get was the extra HP boost for Vaughn. Alright, other things that happen. Well, nothing yet. Yeah, I have, I'm just gonna return on my gambits. Change Phoenix down back to raise for the mages. Let's see, Bosch. Yeah, you can keep your Phoenix down thing. Gambit might be useful. As you can see, I have Ash with a ton of gambits. A lot of them are just really the like the individual status healing, like Poisona, Stona, just because Asuna is a lot more expensive compared to them, and so if they're only afflicted with one status, I would rather be using one of those. I could use some more gambits for Penelo, probably. Although I think I got Penelo enough gambits for the different elemental weakness things that she can actually cast. I mean, another thing you could do like if you wanted to try and detect weaknesses, you could set up gambits like, oh, if something is weak to holy, use, I don't know, a potion on it. And so if you see your character starting to use a potion on the enemy in battle, then that could be your signal that, hey, it's weak to holy, or hey, it's weak to dark, or earth, or whatever else you can't really cast. And we're back in the Garmsmith Waterway. So that's where the Barheem passage is. That's interesting. We have big evil monsters here. So I also looked up kind of what the Vanish spell does. It's supposed to make you not as detectable by enemies as, well, just being not vanished would. So we're gonna try that out because I still don't want to deal with the big nightmare frogs. Don't think I've forgotten about those things. We will be killing them, but they're still targeting me. I'm vanished. This is not how I want things to go. I just want to get out of here. And since I'm in the Garmsmith Waterway, look, we're so close to the exit. All I have to do is follow this path around, and this is going to connect with here. I can't swim 2 feet. Oh my gosh, this is awful. Oh, well, there goes my party leader. Okay. We gotta do something about this. Malboro Overking. This is not pleasant. Okay. So, yeah, I kind of cut out there. There was nothing else that I could find. I wandered around in there for quite a bit, actually. We're back on the Fawn Coast, by the way. On the way back, I pretty much ran back through as best as I could through all those specter swarms and all that nonsense. I did not have... Yeah, I could not exit the place through the Garmsmith Waterway. That was a big thing to note. What I could have and probably should have done, well, we'll get back to later. But yeah, I'm going to have to go through the whole Barheem passage to get back through to the Garmsmith Waterway on that side to do, well, those other hunts that we have, and one of those hunts will get us the gate key where we can control the water flow and actually get to actually open up the Garmsmith Waterway passages. But besides that, we're someplace new. We're not at the Fawn Coast. We're at the place after that, the Tilakia Highland or whatever. It's a highland place. Another thing that I have found out, besides the fact that I still need to set up gambits for the Chronos tier, is everyone seems to like doing this. I was just going to cast Haste here to undo the slow, but apparently that's not going to happen either. So yeah, we're still using the Chronos tier. The music for this place is an interesting overworld map. Oh, corrals. Wait a minute, was that a lightsaber sound I just heard? Something sounded like a lightsaber there. Maybe that's just me. And it didn't even look like there was anything really going on the screen. But whatever. So we have to go through this Highlands, which means it's also time for me to complain about how long it's taking to get to Arcadia. Yes, I know I've stopped and done a ton of side stuff between them, but we've had so many large overworld parts. Like, I had to take breaks from just traveling overworld because that was driving me crazy. I mean, as it is, I'll spend one part here. I don't know if I'll spend any of the next part exploring the overworld area here, but I think I just explored all off screen because that's the pattern that I've been doing. Yeah, because I I have notes in the next part. It'll tell me what I collected off screen. There were some nice things in this area. But anyways, yeah, so we have upgraded Malboros, we have Corels, we have upgraded Viper enemies. I don't remember what they're called. We'll find out when we run into them again. $89 gil, woohoo! And yeah, I'm just kind of checking out the place. Now this looks like it would be a place for a neat little side dungeon. Kind of like they had in Final Fantasy IV when you had like the Sif Cave and the path to the Fey March. Or the Land of Summons, depending on which version or translation you're playing. Yeah, I just really felt like that was going to happen here with some of these places. Some of these old broken down buildings. That would have been neat, but spoiler alert, that doesn't happen. The Death Spell. Serpents, that's what these things are. Death Spell is actually really useful, is what I'm finding. For Fran here. So it's especially nice on enemies where I can't really strike their elemental weakness, so if they're weak to water or holy or earth in this case. And especially if I'm getting swarmed by multiples of them, the death spell being a fairly cheap and efficient method of just instantly killing one of them. And it has a pretty darn good success rate. I can't complain too much about it. And so we're going to start using the death spell quite a lot more when we have this party for our normal enemies. And I think this is like the first time in a Final Fantasy game where I actively use the death status or death spell. I think the only other major use I ever got out of instant death stuff was in Final Fantasy IV when Cecil was still a Dark Knight and he had the Deathbringer, and you were killing those rock birds. And it had quite a bit of HP for the time, but they were like super susceptible to the instant death from the Deathbringer's attack, and it would trigger like almost every time on them. But yeah, this is like actual use of the death spell, and there's a giant bell wyvern over there. It's weak to water. We're gonna find out. Oh, now we're really getting swarmed. Okay, Fran, we need you to cast death on something. Well, I know we can use it on the serpent. Let's use it on the serpent. I still might want to steal from the... So yeah, you see that? She killed the thing already. And as I mentioned, the death spell seems to have a really good success rate in this game. So I'm not really disappointed. It kind of helps make up for the fact that she's a red mage and she doesn't have all those elemental staffs. And we even just used death on that big flying bell wyvern. Dang. I'm really liking this death spell. And yeah, I know I kind of post-commentary spoiled it by telling you we're going to get a lot of use out of the death spell for the rest of the game. But yeah, with being able to gain back MP from killing a enemy with magic, you know, death spell triggers that, and with that it really doesn't even cost the full 16, because we're going to get a lot of that back by having a successful cast of the death spell, which seems to happen like 80 to 90% of the time. Maybe even a bit more than that. There's a couple enemies we'll run into that are can still be killed by death, but they're pretty resistant to it. It feels like there's like a 30 to 50% chance of killing them. But for most of the normal enemies, even from now through the final dungeon, death spell is going to be really good for this group. And it kind of makes up for her not having like those elemental staffs and whatnot, going with the red mage archer combination. So yeah, I'm starting to like this. Just when I feel that Penelo was really starting to outshine the Red Mage, then the Red Mage doing a Red Mage versus Black Mage thing. I still think a Black Mage, Red Mage combination would be really, really good. But we don't have that, so yeah, just when I thought Penelo was leaving Fran in the dust, I discover the uses for the death attack. I just kind of was playing around with it. I'm like, hey, the serpent thing, I can't really exploit an elemental weakness on it. Let's try death. What else am I going to have Fran do? And it worked. You guys just know how to ruin everything, don't you? Use death. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. You will die, Nightmare Frog. Yes. It works on Nightmare Frogs. This is the best day ever. We should summon Zolera on those Nightmare Frogs. Just saying. And yeah, Zolera's attacks are the kill, and the his finishing move is the prime level death, which it's probably not going to be useful for boss fights, so I don't know when I'm going to use it. Look at all these Nightmare Frogs. And there's a big furry gator in the distance. Well, I don't even know what kind of animal we'd classify that as. We'll need to get a closer look, but first, these lizards... Why are they called lizards? They're Nightmare Frogs. Feral Croc. Oh, it has Reflect on. I guess we can't just cast Death on it. But we can cast Death on the Nightmare Frogs. And due to the Reflect, I'm kind of glad Death isn't an AoE spell. At least not this time. Alright, so that one's down. We'll Death the other lizard, because Balthier is playing around with that. We're not going to turn your gamuts off. You're just going to go and attack the Croc. Vosh, you're going to go attack the Croc. There we go. That other frog is dead. That thing... That is not natural how its mouth opens like that. That's... It's been hanging around the Nightmare Frogs too long, that's all I can say. Now, this area, to me, it's not really memorable. It's kind of like a mix between a plains, a grassy area, a little bit of mountains thrown in, and some streams and water. All kind of things that we've seen before. This is just kind of like meshing a bunch of those together. What in the world is that trying? Okay, so this person, he has a hunt for us to do. So we found a hunt to do that wasn't... it's not an official hunt. Well, we're still gonna do it anyways, I guess, because it involves killing something we have clearly never seen before. But he says we need to go to Sochin Cave for that. That is the next cave we're going to be going to. Yep, so we have to go through, like, what was it? Well, counting the Dalmasca Ester Sand, Salaka Wood, oh, the Mosphorian Highways before the Salaka Wood, Fawn Coast, these Tikachia Highlands, and the Sochin Cave. So 6 areas that we have to go to, one of those being a dungeon, before we get to Arcadia. To me, that's just way too much overworld exploring. Way too much. Okay, so this guy, yeah, they were terrorized, separated from his son, blah blah blah. This Arcadian Wayfarer, he's not really a competent hunter. When we find his son, that'll be kind of amusing, because his son just kind of makes fun of him for not being able to deal with it. So, question mark, the hunt begins. But, yeah, we found a safe crystal, so we'll deal with deal with this next time. I might show off a little more of this area exploration-wise, because we didn't get too far. I don't know. We'll find out together next time.